Good morning, everyone. Today we'll explain some important concept that will come up in the work of data analyst work. So, uh, so we will explain that by responding to some question about data ethics, mining, and time series. So we'll begin by answering of the first question. Uh, is what does the CRISP DM methodology for the data mining entail, and what does the data analyst do in each step? So, uh, first of all, the CRISP DM is the cross-industry standard process for data mining, and it's a six-phase framework, and it used to structure data mining and analytics project, and it ensures that the analysis is systematic and aligned with the business goal. So, first of all, the first phase is the business understanding. So, it defines the business problem, project objective, and success criteria. And here, the data analyst meet with stakeholders to understand goals and constraints. Also, it translates business question into analytic question, and also it assesses risks, assumption, and project scope. So the second is the data understanding. So it entail the collection of initial data and explore it to understand its structure, quality, and potential. And then the data analyst imports and inspects dataset, performs exploratory analysis, the ADA. Also, it identifies data quality users. So the third is the data preparation. Preparation of the data by cleaning, transform, and structure the data so it's ready for the analysis or modeling. And here the data analyst handle missing value, duplicate, and outlier. Also, it measures datasets and select relevant variable. Also, it creates new future. The future, here we talk about the future engineering. So, the next phase in the modeling is to apply analytical or statistical models to the prepared data. And there, the data analyst choose the appropriate model. For example, the classification, clustering, or regression. It splits data into training or testing sets. Also, it evaluates model performance using metrics. So, the next phase is the evaluation, and here it returns to the first business understanding. How? So it assesses whether the models answer the business question and meet success criteria. How and or so here I mean what does the analyst what the analyst does in this phase. So it compare model with the result to business objective and checks for bias or error, and also it validates the result with stakeholders. So the last phase is the deployment. The deployment deliver the final result so the business can use them for for the strategy. of the organization. And here the data analyst create reports, dashboard, or presentation. It also communicates insight in clear, actionable language. So we go to the second question. The second question is explain what need to be done before you can forecast time series. In other words, what does time series analysis involve? So so before we can build any forecast, we need uh, to prepare, understand, and analyze the data to make sure it behave in a very way that allows accurate prediction. So the first is to ensure the data is truly a time series. So we should confirm that the data is ordered chronologically and there is no missing times map. The second is to explore the data. Before modeling, we need to understand the structure of the series. So we can do that by checking for outlier or anomaly or plotting the data over time. And here will help us to understand what kind of model will be appropriate. So the third is check for stationarity. So most forecasting models require the data to be stationary. So here the data should have a constant mean and constant variance. If the series is not stationary, so there is some we can for example remove trend or seasonality. So four is to handle missing value and outlier. So before forecasting, we should fill or interpolate missing value, removing or adjust extreme outlier. And here we should ensure the dataset is clean and consistent. So as we know, garbage in, garbage out. If the data is dirty, so the result will be false. So 5, we should decompose the time series. So the time series decomposition help us to separate the data into components. So understanding this component is crucial for choosing the right forecasting model. And the last is to select the appropriate forecasting method. And after these steps, we can choose the model. It can be, for example, Arima or Sarima or Prophet. These were made by Facebook. So we go to the next question is to discuss the main principle of data ethics. So as well as what company or organization could do to uphold this principle. So the first is the transparency, and organization must be open about what data they collect and what they collect and why they collect it and how it will be used. So we uphold it by providing a clear privacy notice. So and allow user to access and review their own data. The second is the privacy confidentiality. So The individuals have the right to control uh, their personal information, and data must be protected from unauthorized access. And we uphold it by using a strong encryption and secure storage. Third is the fairness and avoiding bias. So here, the data and algorithm should not create or reinforce discrimination, and we uphold it by auditing data sets for bias. Also, by testing model for unfair outcomes across demographics group. So the next is accountability. Accountability is the organization must take responsibility for how data is collected, used, and shared. And here we upload it by establishing an internal data governance policy, for example. And the next is the security. So the data must be protected against breach. There are a lot of hackers, so we can uphold it by implementing a cybersecurity best practice. So for the next question, we should discuss the main. So for the next question, we should respond to question that imagine that you are a data analyst at financial service company and you have some concern about bias in the way your predictive model was measured. So how would you raise your concern with your manager? So here I will raise my concern about measurement by approaching my manager in a professional and evidence-based manner. And I explained that some performance metric or evaluation method may be producing unfair or misleading result, and providing concrete example from the model's output to support my concern. Clarify that my intention is to improve accuracy and not criticize the work. So highlight the risk of ignoring bias. So here we should suggest to some suggestion to avoid measurement bias in the future. So we can use multiple evaluation metrics of relying on a single measure, or we perform regular bias audit during model development and after deployment. So we go to the next question is to explain the difference between regression and classification model in predictive analysis. So here regression model is predict numerical regression model is to predict numerical or continuous value, and the output here is a number. So we can give an example: linear regression, ARIMA. So we use it to when the goal is to estimate quantity, but the other classification model is to predict category or classes, and the output is label, like logistic regression, and we use it to assign an observation to a group. So something with discrete categories. Okay. Here we answered of all the questions. Thank you for watching our video, and thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.